Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
And it's...
Sadly, the unhappy hour.
Indeed.
Seems like there's a lot of unhappy hours these days anyway, so...
We could do this show every day.
Every day.
But we only do it once a month.
We only do it every 4 weeks during the fourth quarter moon to let you know what is making you unhappy right now and in these next 4 weeks ahead, and how you can turn that frown upside down.
The reading is designed for the elemental signs of the Zodiac, but then we throw in a small reading at the end for...
a small, complicated reading at the end for the world.
For the world itself, a global collective reading just to kind of take the pulse of the world.
And that's why my emotional support squishy, Bly, is here.
Hi, Bly.
Hello.
So let's get
Need
started.
a hug, Mr. O?
Oh.
Okay. So let's get going. Let's get cracking here. All
Watch
right.
that with the table.
What did I do?
You moved it.
Oh, I didn't think I did.
I saw it.
It's a strong table.
I think Bly did it then, because Bly's the one that's touching the table.
Hey, Bly like me could use a little weight reduction.
Bly, behave yourself.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we're starting off with the air signs.
Right, air signs.
Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
Aquarius. This
We
reading's
ask each
for you.
sign and the world the same 4 questions.
And you will hear them as we go.
Right.
Okay, Bly. I'm going to set you down till we need you, which may be sooner than later. All right. Let's see what's making the air signs unhappy right now. Do that.
And our first question is, what is or will be making the air signs unhappy right now? Oh, we forgot to add one other thing.
They're all reversed.
All
the cards are reversed.
Are reversed.
And so this could definitely make the air signs or anybody unhappy. It's the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is, of course, reversed.
Wow, boo-hoo.
Yeah, it's kind of a boo-hoo moment. Either you have not been able to, finish something you really wanted successfully completed. You've been unable to achieve a successful conclusion to something you were hoping for, or, there seems to be trouble in the relationship department, could be friendships with family, with a lover, with your partner. You're just not getting along. It's not the happy ever after right now that you were hoping for.
And air signs could also be feeling collective sense of the unhappiness that goes with the idea that the Ten of Cups can represent universal, unconditional love, the kind of love that you have for people in the collective, that you don't love passionately as your primary relationship perhaps, but you care about humankind kind of thing. And this is saying air signs feel really unhappy for humankind perhaps.
It's true. I think we all do.
Card 2. How will the air signs be dealing with this unhappiness?
Well, it's taken the wind out of your sails for sure. This is the Queen of Wands reversed. I think you're dealing with this by just kind of pulling back from things, pulling back from people, instead of, trying to confront or fix the reality that you are facing. You're pulling away from it, because either you lack the confidence now, or, you lack the confidence in the situation or in yourself in order to make, to improve things.
That's right, Banshee, and that's probably what I would have said, is that literally the Queen of Wands reverse means you no longer feel so sure about your actions or your ability to engage. You may have always felt like you know how to talk to people, even if you're not, Mr. or Mrs. Personality, you knew how you could engage. Now you don't feel that, or you don't feel like taking that effort. That's how you're dealing with this, is like you're not engaging.
The Queen of Wands, when she's upright, she's a very magnetic personality. She can attract things to her. Do you feel like you're attracting disaster or disappointment to yourself right now?
Well, you don't want to be. That's how you're dealing with this.
Yeah.
You're sort of shutting that down.
So, maybe that's why you're pulling back.
Are your feelings justified, air signs?
So, Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is here, reversed.
Well, your feelings could be justified because you feel like you wanted to take an opportunity. You wanted to take a little bit of sense of hope with what you felt was going on. And so this sort of changes that picture for you. You now don't necessarily feel like rising to that occasion. And so that's disappointing.
Yeah, I feel here that you feel your feelings are justified because what you thought would be good, something good in your life, an opportunity for growth or change, or for a positive a positive relationship in your life, seems to not be there anymore. Seems to, either makes you feel bored or wanting to search for something else.
So finally, how do the air signs turn that frown upside down?
So 10 of Pentacles, reversed.
Wow, blanketed by 2 10s.
Yeah, that's really interesting right there.
Okay, bookended.
Well, how you can turn that frown upside down is by not trying to avoid the situation. I think here, when I see the 10 of Pentacles reversed sometimes, I see people trying to avoid, dealing with the issues that could make them feel more comfortable, more safe, more secure. Maybe you're doing too many other things. You need to pull back from all the other distractions maybe and focus on the situation. If it really means a lot to you, you might be able to turn this around. You might actually be able to turn this around. It may not be something you have to let go of, but you have to be willing to spend the time, the energy, the resources, put the work in on it.
Well, in a larger sense, too, I think that the 10 of Pentacles reversed could be saying what you're saying, focus on what you really need to. And there's a sense of, certain obligations or certain things that, you may feel that you normally have a routine for doing them. You may have to ease up on them because you really do need to put your focus elsewhere.
And here's the other thing. If this is about relationships, this card is a very family or tribe oriented card as well. I think what it's saying is that you have to be willing to listen to others, involve them in the process. You can't do this. You won't be able to solve this situation, whatever it is, on your own.
Very good. Recap?
Yeah, I guess. I think it was pretty concise, but Let's take a look at it. Something either you've been unable to finish on your own, or a complete project goal seems to be disappointing you and not coming out. It's just not happening. If it's a relationship, something is broken or breaking, you need to try to work on what's wrong rather than add to the problem, right?
It could even mean that, your general love for all of humankind is really disappointing right now.
And you're feeling as though you're, you need to pull back from this. That's how you're responding to it. I don't know that that's the right way to go. Absolutely. I don't think it's the right way to go. But you are pulling back because you lack the confidence to get things back under control.
You do not want to engage. You would rather not.
And with the Four of Cups reversed, I thought you had something good to say there. Yeah.
Well, to me, I think it says your feelings are justified because you sort of feel you were ready to take this opportunity or take this chance or make a decision, and now you don't feel very good about that.
But ultimately, you do need to get back re-involved, re-engage yourself either with the people you are in conflict with or the person, or, with the situation that is seemingly falling apart. You might be able to turn it around if you put in the extra effort and focus all your attention, all your resources on fixing what's wrong.
You may have to let some other things go for a while.
And you may have to work with others in order to make this happen.
All right.
Good luck with
so that was the air signs. And by the way, the deck we are using is called
Ouch! The This Might Hurt Tarot, which is by Isabella Rotman.
So we are now on the fire signs.
Shuffle first.
And fire signs are
Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
We'll see what's making me hurt.
What's eating you guys?
Well, you
What
want a
is
list?
it?
You
What
want a
is it?
list?
Pick a card, any card. Shuffle-oo. So if all goes well, you're watching this somewhere around 6 p.m. on Wednesday night. Whew, got it done.
Oh, sorry. There. All right, what's making us fire signs hurt?
What is our woman making the fire signs unhappy?
Oh,
And
very
it's
unhappy.
Queen of Pentacles, reversed.
Where? The pain. The Queen of Pentacles reversed. Well, what's making us unhappy is the sense that something is not right in our world. And generally it's because we haven't been taking care of ourselves. That's part of it. We haven't been taking care of ourselves. Maybe we've been taking care of other people or situations, and we've let ourselves go, and it's making us feel unhappy. Another thing is we maybe have not been managing our finances very well, and therefore that could be causing some issues.
Well, I'm going to stick with the former. I'm going to say, this is, a springtime era here in the States, and it could be that, there's a lot of bugs around, flus and things, and so people may actually be unhappy because their health isn't exactly the way they want. And of course that could mean that they do have to spend a little more money for medicines or cures or things like that. So it could also be something more physical like that, and you feel that sometimes because it is a pentacle.
Yeah. How are we dealing with this situation? It's another pentacle, so maybe it's going to make me think about this. So yeah, it's the Page of Pentacles. And I feel here we're not dealing with this very well. It seems as though we're off to a false start. Maybe we had the intentions of stepping back, taking care of our needs, but we let other things distract us. Maybe somebody else came along, had a problem or an issue for you to solve. Maybe the workplace just isn't letting up and giving you the time off you need. So you're suffering from some disappointment and all these distractions here from, taking care of yourself right now. But, because you're such a giving-natured person, you're doing it anyway.
Well, given the context of the question in this reading, this could also be perhaps a sense of denial. Like maybe people were sort of like, you know what, I'll just take care of that later. It's not really that important. And so we may be purposefully ignoring things our body or the situations around us are telling us to take care of, and we're just saying, well, I'll get around to that.
And sometimes you can just take simple steps to relieve yourself of stress or anxiety in your life. When I see the page reversed, I think you're not grounded, and maybe just taking a walk outside, when the weather's nice. It hasn't been nice today here for that, but the thing is, just get some fresh fresh air. You know, when the weather's warming up a little bit in the areas that now is spring, open your windows and doors a little bit and breathe in some of that fresh air. Sometimes there's little things we can do that can make a big difference.
All right, card 3. Why are the fire signs' feelings justified that they're unhappy?
It's the King of Swords reversed.
Another court card. And also reversed, of course.
Yeah, it's 3 court cards, and really, I might have to give an alternate path to this the more I'm seeing this, but let's talk about it in terms of where we are, and I think the King of Swords reversed is saying, we know our feelings are justified because we've been making some bad decisions, some very bad decisions. We've been going against what our body is trying to tell us, to slow down or to take it easy or to rest for a while because you really need it or whatever, or get the exercise you need. We're making bad judgments.
Right. That goes along certainly with the part of my scenario too, that the idea that it is about you're unhappy about your physical state of being, whether it's because of things that are making you allergic or giving you a cold or a virus of some sort, or because we're not taking care of ourselves. We're not eating good enough food. We're not getting enough water. And so your feelings are justified because I guess you are angry about that, or you realize now you put off making better choices. And so you realize that's what it came to. Card 4.
How do you turn this frown upside down? And it's Temperance reversed.
Well, you're going to have to go medieval on yourself, really. I mean, it's sort of saying like maybe you need a little bit of a shock to the system. I don't think you need to go on super mega diet of some sort or eat a super mega pill that makes you avoid having to do something. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I think it means you have to maybe tip the scales a little bit differently because for so long they've been tipped the other way.
Right. This is showing that you have to eliminate the excesses right now.
Yeah.
Whether it's an excessive workload, whether it's an excessive, I'm going to be there for everybody kind of attitude, whether it's excess, what's the word I wanted to use? Whether it's excess eating or drinking or indulging, you have to find and restore the balance. Restore the balance.
Very good.
And if this is about finances at all, because we do have, I don't think we have to update what we just said, but just looking at this, in case this is about a financial matter, it looks as though maybe, your finances, you might have been mismanaging them. It's possible too that some of us have been laid off and maybe are, in some financial struggle right now. And you've been trying to write this, you've actually given up on trying to write this situation. You're just walking away. It's almost as if you're thinking to yourself, well, there's no jobs out there now, so I'm just going to sit back and do nothing. That's not the attitude you should take here. And are your feelings justified? Yeah, because you're not thinking clearly about this situation and what you need to do to write this. And ultimately, you have to restore balance. You have to restore balance.
So please do that.
Good luck with that, fire signs.
All right, we are going to move on to the water signs.
That's Cancer,
Scorpio,
and Pisces.
I like when you do that. I keep wanting to ask you where it hurts.
Well, Scorpio, you think about that a while. All right. It's been raining like cats and dogs here much of the day, or night into day, or early morning into day. And I am tired. It just wears me out. It's heavy rainy
All
weather.
right, water signs. What is or will be making you guys unhappy?
I don't know why I brought all that up with the water signs. There's too much water out
I'm a
there.
little bit moist.
Oh, what's making you unhappy? You are being unhappy is making you unhappy. Look at that. You have the Ace of Cups reversed.
Well, a lot of
One could
times-
almost say that. Being unhappy is making you unhappy. You're very gloomy and down right now, and it could be because a relationship didn't, turn out the way you had hoped, or a prospective love interest didn't come through for you, or something else that you thought would bring you happiness has not.
Well, like the first set, the air signs, I felt that first card also could be your feelings about the world at large. This could be too, this feeling that, everything is kind of crashing and burning in a way, or that, that the world itself, there's such great unhappiness, and that, Pisces and Cancer, Scorpio, you guys are a little bit maybe more empathic at times, and so you're just crushed by that too, and you need to work that out.
Well, it's no surprise to me to see a lot of this emotionality coming up in these readings, because people's emotions are really all over the place right now.
Card 2, how will the water signs be dealing, or have they been dealing with this unhappiness?
Well,
a little less than totally up.
A little less than totally up. It may be affecting your health and well-being a little bit. Maybe, you've gotten a little slight sick spell because you've been kind of stressed out or just so blue. Depression can cause that. But, I think you feel like, you're just kind of hoping the sun will shine again. All of your optimism is not lost here. That's a positive to me.
Right, even in the context of this reading, the sun isn't a horrible card, but it feels like things are off a little bit, and maybe I would like to say you're just sort of incurious right now. It's like you're almost afraid to find out anything new because you figure it might not be the best news.
Well, I think a lot of people are feeling unmotivated right now, and because of just all the uncertainty going on, they feel really unmotivated. Like AI is taking over jobs, companies keep cutting, everybody's on edge. And I feel that here, but I also feel like, there's some hope in this card that things could right themselves again. So all is not lost when you get the sun reversed.
Are the water signs' feelings justified?
Well, they've got the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands, when it's reversed, indicates that
you're ready to throw in the towel.
Well, you feel they're justified because you feel like everything is stacked against you right now. People are stacked against you. Policies are stacked against you. Whatever's going on in the world is stacked against you. And so you feel a lot of pressure. You feel a lot of pressure, which falls right back into that ace, and a little bit of disillusionment and depression.
Now, another good point to consider, though, is that this may not necessarily be based on actual evidence or actual news source. I don't want to get all wonky here, but the idea that, it just feels that way, and maybe, if you can, you have to figure out where it actually is in terms of truth or relevant, data. Card 4. How do we turn that frown upside down? She's smiling.
It's the Nine of Wands reversed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about smiling about that per se.
Oh, okay, right.
But it definitely gives a clue as to what you shouldn't do. You should not give up. Right. You should not give up. Remember, the sun is saying that things may seem bad on the surface, or maybe they are bad now, but they could turn around. Don't give up on yourself, your dreams, your goals. Don't give up on the world right now.
And maybe as a little clue, the figure is, although it's reversed, the figure is somebody who looks to be trying to study a written book or tome of some sort. And that's especially what you should not give up on, finding out new information that may be helpful.
I like that. I don't know that we need to recap it. Do you
let's
think this
just
is
move
good?
on.
So good luck with that.
All right,
water
moving on
signs.
to the earth signs. And who are
Hey,
they?
you earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn.
Yes, we are.
Capricorn. There, you saw me raise my hands up now. Sorry.
What really has to happen is a good shuffle.
Yes, a good shuffle would be helpful. But we haven't had many repeat cards, so that's good. That is good. I don't think we had any so far. All right. I'm going to shuffle one more time. All right. Oopsie.
All right. Earth signs, card 1. What is or will be making you unhappy right now?
It's the Seven of Wands. I jinxed it by saying we didn't have any reverse cards, but it is reversed,
Oh,
Mr.
that's
O.
right, because it's reversed. It's
but
the
it's the
Seven of
first
Wands.
card. So this is different for the earth signs, and that this is really the problem. Not how you're feeling about it or whatever. So the problem is right now you feel like you feel oppressed. You feel as though everybody is, muscling their way into your space, trying to tell you how to live your life or trying to tell you how to do your work at work. It's just you're feeling oppressed and pushed upon.
You don't know how, you're unhappy because you don't know how to mount a challenge that you need to how to get in front of something.
How to handle competition.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what's making you unhappy right now.
So,
how will the earth signs be dealing with this?
With another wand. And it is the Knight of Wands reversed.
All right.
So, how are you dealing with this? Well, yeah, you're feeling like you're sort of, I would say this. You're taking careless, reckless acts. Either you're acting out with someone or you're doing things in a way it's digging you in deeper. It's not making a difference. It's digging you in deeper.
You're looking for solutions that probably will mostly make you run away or hide in some way. So in that sense, it's sort of like you're still not able to figure out how to mount this challenge. You'd rather run away from it altogether, maybe.
Well, I think that or taking the reckless acts.
Okay, I agree.
But I agree. It's a third wand.
And
so I wonder if this is work-related.
How are your feelings justified?
And it is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is reversed. So your feelings are justified because something now, maybe that you wanted to do or accomplish, seems to be a non-starter. That's how you feel about it. It's like, with all this stacked against you right now, you feel like, there's no growth for you here. You're unable to do what you had hoped to do.
A seed is not growing. Something that you thought, would flourish or that you wanted to put your energy into just seems fallow in a way. You don't seem to be able to do it.
Seems pointless now or something.
So how do you turn that frown upside down, earth signs?
Well, it's with another knight. It's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm. Reversed.
Reversed. How do you turn that frown upside down? Well, I think here it's by stop stagnating, stop making, reckless moves, but also stop making careless moves. I think reckless and careless goes together here because the Knight of Pentacles seems to lack the motivation and drive, and so therefore they're just going through the motions at work rather than, or in a situation, rather than doing something constructive about it. So this is what you have to turn around. You have to take a better approach to what whatever you're facing here to ensure you can get this right. I think this one we will have to recap. But
there is a sense of trying to understand timing involved here. Excuse me. It's like finding your Goldilocks moment. It's not too this, it's not too that. It's just right.
Yeah. So let's recap this a little bit here, because I do feel this could be a work situation or relating to career. And so what's making you unhappy right now is maybe some stiff competition you've been facing, for a job or a promotion, or if you're in business for yourself, trying to get something out there that, will sell in this crazy environment. You feel all this pressure around you right now.
Do you also feel that maybe there is a limitation on your movement? Maybe that makes you unhappy.
And so how are you dealing with it? You're dealing with this by, possibly knee-jerk reactions. This knight, he doesn't think about what he's doing. He just reacts, And so you might be digging yourself in deeper by not taking a little time to strategize and plan and think of the smart move you should make going forward.
Reactions like that are not going to build confidence in yourself. They may, deep inside, actually chip away at it.
And so are your feelings justified? Yeah, because you were hoping for this bright new beginning, or for your business to start to grow and flourish, and everything just seems to be stacked against that right now.
Yes, the seed will not grow.
And ultimately, you really just can't fall into a funk over this. You can't stagnate. You've got to stop making reckless moves, because you're starting to look like you don't care about your work. And, these careless acts will do nothing to help you find a new job.
It's a one-lane highway, and the two knights have to learn how to cooperate to let each other pass.
Ooh.
Or work together.
Aren't you smart there? Nice one. Wow.
All right, so now we are...
Now I got Bly.
Help us, Bly. You're our only hope.
We're doing the world, and, it's never easy to solve the world's problems. But we're going to try. See what the world needs to do this month to make people feel a little less stressed and crazy.
So... there may be many, many issues that are really troubling the world right now, but this will try to boil it down to the most essential or widespread feeling that's out there in the hive.
Oh, dear. Okay, Bly, let me shuffle. Well, Bly says the future looks bright, so let's hope it does.
Where's his shades?
Future doesn't look bright today. It's all gloomy out there today. As befits a mood for the unhappy hour. Okay, world.
Yes, if you want real gloom, you should visit Goth Tarot. It just opened on YouTube channel this morning, so view it while you can.
Shameless self-promotion there, Mr. O.
You betcha. All right, world. What is or will be making you unhappy right now?
Oh, boy, that's not so bad. Actually, it is.
The Hangman reverse.
It shows that there's a lot of ego mania out there right now. People who are unwilling to make compromises and sacrifice, and allowing their ego needs to, to dictate, terms of things.
Well, to riff off an old commercial, there's a lot of choices out there, but there's few people to make the right one, or there are few agencies to make the right one.
For example, a certain president dictating who another country, an autonomous country, should pick as their new leader.
So it makes the world unhappy that there is this sense of truly unbalance. The hanged man isn't really weighing the causes of the world and figuring out what are the best and noble and self-effacing ways to proceed forward. He's doing pretty much the opposite.
The opposite. Exactly.
And that makes us unhappy.
So.
Card 2, how will the world be dealing with this?
Oh. Not good.
The Lover's reversed.
So the world is not dealing with this in a very positive way. The world.
Well, it could almost make people feel like, somebody else needs to make the good choices because nobody else is.
Well, the point is that we have, how we're dealing with it is we continue to make bad choices. That's how we're dealing with it. And, this could apply. A lot of people could point fingers in a lot of different directions on this one. I personally could, point to my own country for that, clearly. But it seems to be a chronic problem in the world. We're not taking care of our environment as well as we should. We're not taking care of each other as well as we should. We're not, being diplomatic or congenial with each other as well as we could.
From that really weighty emotional part of this card, it really can represent a consensus between two souls, a consensus between two whatevers. And we're dealing with this by realizing that there is no such consensus in our world, perhaps.
And I do think this could be for a lot of countries' leaders, not just the U.S., but they are choosing vice over virtue. And you think of the Epstein files, number one. You think of just all the horrible decisions that are being made for greed and money.
The people who can make money off of all this.
And control and people's own ego needs. It's vice over virtue.
I have to turn this over. Why are the world's feelings justified?
Because we were ill-prepared for this. We were ill-prepared for the fact that people would allow their lower selves, to do all of this damage, that we are doing, and not listening to our higher, more altruistic selves.
Well, this doesn't even really speak to that in my mind, because there are so percentage-wise or ratio-wise few people who have the best views for everyone at heart. So many people are just into it for their own ego gratifications. Right. And so without being able to account for that, so many people are stunned at how many people just really didn't give a shit. And that means, like, in America, the 80 million people who didn't vote.
And also, people are looking at, what's going on with Iran and Israel and the United States and how ill-prepared everybody really was to do this war. They just thought, we have all these weapons, let's just throw them out there. But where was the planning? Where was the rationale behind it? Where was, I just think that it stunned everybody that this happened the way it did. Yeah. And the fact that they were in negotiations at the time supposedly making progress, but yet one side apparently was not there to negotiate. One side was just to be there to make it look like, they were interested in peace.
And so they won't be trusted again.
Yeah, I think not.
No matter what happens. Card 4.
How can we turn this frown upside down?
How can the world?
Well, the world. That's the Page of Pentacles reversed. And so I think we could turn the world up, this frown upside down if we'd only really ground and center ourselves and start thinking about things more realistically, and what's better for everybody, more how to share more, how to be more giving. I have to think about this one more.
There's a phrase I love that I heard was originated a couple hundred centuries ago during the Enlightenment, when people started to look towards science and reason, and that was called the re-enchantment of the world. And of course, I always think that there's something re-enchantment possibility about the Page of Pentacles, because he looks at the world mostly through mystical eyes. And this is saying, stop being so worldly and look at the world as a place of wonder for everyone. And this is the world thinking that about itself. So it's very meta.
You got it. No, that's exactly it. And what I was searching for is to stop being so greedy and self-oriented. So allowing the ego to control everything. You know, learn that, you know, we all have important roles to play. You are not the only person who should be controlling the show. So this is about the world. This isn't about, you know, necessarily any one individual, but we can see a lot of individuals who are like this out there. We have to keep in mind that we are stewards. You know, people that are leaders are stewards for the people they lead. They're not supposed to lead them down a dark path. They're not supposed to do that.
Agreed.
Wow. I don't know if you want to touch this again, but I think we're done.
I think we're done.
All right. Wow. Tough stuff. And not real good solutions, because it's hard to change hearts and minds overnight. So I do think this is not going to change in 4 weeks, but maybe some cooler heads can prevail.
Well, and that's the thing. It's good for 4 weeks, but half of that will still be pretty much in Mercury retrograde. The other half will be recovering from that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a big part of what's going on for all of these readings, is that Mercury retrograde may impair timing, messages received or sent, etc., understanding.
So these are the painful yet hopeful, in some cases, messages we leave you with until we meet again in 4 weeks for another Unhappy Hour.
So take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.